when I first applied for the fellowship, I was really lost as to what I would do for a project and how I could make an impact in sustainability. You know, I'm just one person, I'm not really an expert, and I'd never done anything like this before, but still I applied. And then it was probably a week before my fellowship interview that our all-knowing algorithm showed me two signs. The first was a rather simply titled scientific paper, The Insect Apocalypse and Why It Matters. And the second was slightly more lighthearted. It was an old school newspaper comic book panel. And it was these two things in the space of a week that had me reflecting upon my childhood. I grew up in Exmouth and Ingloo in the early 2000s, and we would spend endless summers at the beach, and there would be endless schools of fish. We had emus and kangaroos that would wander freely through town, and of course, we had lots of bugs to wipe off the windshield. But when I returned at the end of 2021, there were no endless schools of fish. The emus and kangaroos were gone, and there were no bugs to wipe off the windshield. And this, upon reflection, was terrifying, because it's not just Exmouth where the insects are disappearing, it's globally, with some places recording an 80% decline in insect biomass, and we don't know how many species we've lost to extinction. Without insects, we have no food, no clean water. Without insects, there's no complex life as we know it at all. But the evidence is clear. Insect populations are really resilient, and they want to bounce back. We just need to provide them some habitat, among other things. And so I interviewed for the fellowship, and spoiler alert, I was accepted. And now I had a project in mind. I wanted to build a nature corridor using nature strips that are often underutilized. And I wanted to do this going from the Edgars Creek to the Darebin Creek. For those of you who don't know, that's about a 5K distance. And it wasn't long until I hit my first two small problems. The first, I've never actually built a nature corridor before. And the second, I definitely didn't have the resources to go 5Ks. But still, I was determined. But perhaps I should start on a smaller scale. So, at the end of February, Jack and I launched Preston Pollinator Pat with a door-knocking campaign in our local community. And we did this with the intention of getting people to donate their time and their nature strips to our corridor project. And for those, to be more specific, our local community was just my street, McNamara and Preston. And so that's what we've been doing for the past few months. So these are some before and after photos. Oh, this is my partner Jack, first of all, helping me out. And these are our before and after photos. So this is Juyen's nature strip. This is the first one that we converted for our project. And this is after. This is John and Annette. They're a lovely couple in their 70s and still working hard. This is after. And then this is Jack and I. And I feel like I should mention Google Earth thought it was a great idea to take photos on bin day every day. And this is after. And while they don't look like much yet, we hope come spring they'll look something like this. And it's by planting Indigenous plants that we're able to provide the resources to our insect friends that they so desperately need. And I'm pretty proud to say that we've been a big success. We have built a street community around caring for and creating homes for our more than human friends. We've created over 200 square meters of habitat in just 5 Sundays, working with just 10 households. And we have 160 meters square planned for next spring. And we've proven how easy it can be to make tangible action on the insect apocalypse when we act together. And I think this is the biggest takeaway for me from the project and from the fellowship. You don't have to act alone, you don't have to be an expert, and you don't have to do it all at once. And so, I would like to extend an offer to you all. If any of you in here, in this room, want to do something like this, come speak to us. We'd love to get you started. It's going to take more than one house, one street to get from creek to creek. Or, if you're looking to support a small community project, fighting for the insects, reach out. Our pockets are a bit empty at the moment, and we've got another round of planting to do. And now for a shameless plug. For those in the Darebin area, we're hosting a workshop on the 1st of June, exploring the science behind fostering urban biodiversity and why you caring matters. And I'd like to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you to Michelle and Sophia from Darebin Council, from the environment team. Without their support, this project never would have got off the ground or been strictly legal. I'd like to say thank you to Lynn, Kate, Matt, and my fellow Wattle Fellows. This has been a life-changing experience and has enabled me to act for nature in a way that simply wasn't possible before. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to my community on McNamara Street who have rallied behind this project in full.